I'm speaking with the renowned regional musician Todd Harrold, drummer, singer, songwriter. And Todd, I wanted to talk to you today about some of the um, clamor going around about the shooting that occurred at the American Legion. I know that you're a mainstay. Your group plays there quite a bit.
Yeah. I started there kind of by accident a couple of years ago. I played a gig last minute with Lee Lewis, and the singer didn't show up, and so he asked me if I could sing. And as soon as I sang, the guy who was then booking the place, Louis Dinwiddie, came right up to me and said, "You have a band, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Can I call you on Monday?" And I said, "Yeah." And so he called and said, "What dates do you have open?" And I told him all the dates I had open. He said, "Yeah, all those." So it couldn't have gotten much easier than that. And it's kind of been like that since. Now it's Steve Lanier. Louis went down to Atlanta to help. His son has had some health problems, and he went down to Atlanta. And I hope that things are going well for Louis. I saw him recently, and Steve has been really easy to work with as well. And I know Steve is trying to do a lot of things with the community as well. And I think that those folks over there are just good folks. They've always been great to me. We played New Year's Eve over there last year, in addition to playing there once, twice, even 3 times this month. We're playing there 3 times. So, which is, it's kind of I don't even know how to describe it, because we're an all-white band, and that is known as being not an all-white place. So it's kind of I don't know. What's the word? What should I say?
I don't know.
Novelty? It's like a novelty.
Initially
it's a novelty, and it stops being a novelty after a while, and we're just a good band to come see. Hopefully.
And do you even think in those terms? I
No.
mean, I know you mentioned it because of what we're talking about, but do you even think in those terms when you go to the Legion?
The only reason that I think about it in those terms is because I get white folks on Facebook asking me if it's safe to go there. And they say things like, "Are there any white people there?" And I'm like, "Hello," and that's the only reason that I thought of it that way at all. To me, a good gig where they pay you well and people enjoy your music and they're nice to you, that's all you want. That's all you want, and that's exactly what it's like there. And I've never seen any sort of incident there at all. I've seen nothing but good people who enjoy music, and I know, as I said, that they're trying to do a lot for the community as well. So it's not just like it's a bar.
Right, you're right. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, and people have talked about the shooting that occurred after hours in the parking lot, and
after the place was closed.
Right, and speak on it, because you and I had a conversation about how that was characterized.
Well, here's the thing. On this particular, I don't know any news people in Fort Wayne other than you. I don't know any news people in Fort Wayne, and so I can't speak of how they do things. I will say, however, that in my mind, if there would have been a shooting at Headwaters Park at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, they wouldn't have said it was a shooting at Club Soda. I play at Club Soda as well, and I really enjoy Club Soda. I think it's a great place, and I've played there a lot, and they have treated me well also, But I don't think that the news would have done that. Whereas, since we're apparently to me, that's the way it looked to me, because of where the Legion is, and right.
Well,
because of where the Legion is, it says that there's a shooting at the Legion, but the Legion was closed.
Yeah. I think that's something that hasn't widely been reported. It's interesting too, because, like I said, we're supposed to be in this post-racial America, but obviously we aren't when we got to have these conversations. And people ask you these questions, and I know you've seen it, I've seen it too, that particular Legion actually attracts people from all over. Guys come down from Angola and places for motorcycles.
The motorcycle, there's all sorts of people with motorcycles there 2 weeks ago when I was playing there. There were all these folks down there with motorcycles, and it was all sorts of, it was white folks and Hispanic folks and all sorts of folks. And it seems to me like, I know it seems to me like as far as legions go, at least from a musician standpoint, that's the one you want to be playing at. You know what I mean? That's the one that pays the most. That's the one where the most people come out and see you. That's the one where you get the most response. That's what musicians wanted, is it not? And that's what musicians wanted a gig. You want to be responded to. You want to get paid for what you do. You want respect for what you do, and and you just want it to be a good experience. Otherwise, you don't want to come back. If any one of those things is violated in any way, if nobody shows up time after time, you don't want to come back. If the money's funny, you don't want to come back. If it's not a good situation, you don't want to come back. But it's always been terrific, And it's always, and when I come in to that place, everybody's like, hey, it's Todd. And that's just awesome. I don't know of anywhere else in Fort Wayne where that happens, where all the patrons come in, I come in and all the patrons, and that's because it's not a bar.
Right. So in other words, what you're also telling people, is that they don't really have to worry about it. And I have to be honest, I have to give a little bit of disclaimer because I'm playing down there next week.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's cool playing down with Mark Maxwell. And again, I'm the color in the band. I'm just being frank, but guys in the band don't feel uncomfortable about that because we get the same reception.
Right.
Well, they get the same reception. I know a lot of people down there, from growing up, but they get the same reception. It's cool as far as I've seen also. And so, I guess people might look at me and say I've got a vested interest in it, but that's why I wanted to ask you. So you feel like it's okay, people should come back?
Well, here's the thing. When we played New Year's Eve last year, there were a lot of people there that aren't usually there on Saturday nights when I usually play. And they were like, you guys are white. And it's just like, yes, you're very perceptive. And they said, what are you doing here? And I said to them, you don't come here very often, do you? And that was it. I don't think there's any reason for anybody to be worried about anything. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, my band belongs there as much as anybody else.
Well, your band it's a soul band.
It's a soul band and blues band, yeah.
Blues band,
that's what I do. That's what I grew up on, as you know, and that's what we do. We're not a rock band. We don't do anything. I did not grow up on quote unquote white music. So that's not what I play. That my voice doesn't lend itself to that. That's not what we do. And we, you do what you do best. I'm 49. I have streamlined it down to just what I do best. So that's and I want to go where people appreciate that type of music. You know what I mean? And if you appreciate that type of music, you'll know how good we are at what we do. And that's they do. And past the music thing, like I say, it's just it's some folks that are trying to do some things for the community, and it's just unfortunate that the reportage was like this. And I don't want to blame anybody, but it always seems to be that kind of slant on that. And I'm not going to be a crusader for anybody. I can only speak for myself. But that was the way that I viewed it. It just seems unfortunate that something like that would happen.
Got about a minute and a half here. When's the next gig or next few gigs down at the Legion?
I'm playing there tomorrow night. This is Friday.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I'm playing there Saturday night, and then I'm playing. Oh boy, it's all on. It's in both papers. It's in the What's Up, and it's on.
And it's in Frost.
Right, and it's in Frost, and it's at ToddHarroldMusic.com, and it's on the Facebook site for Todd Harrold Band.
Okay.
So and we usually play there twice a month.
Okay.
Like
So we tell folks to get invited.
Come on down. Just coming down to get the food is awesome. Me and Nick, the keyboard player, stop. We make sure that we get some fish on every break. Every time we have a break there, we just love the food too. So we don't drink, but we're there for we get the food. So we try to put some money back into the business too.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.